Hi, my name is Michelle Bauman, and I'm a 2008 graduate of the University of Santa Monica, and I'm currently enrolled in the Consciousness Health and Healing program. And my first experience at USM is I came here with my husband to do a couples workshop that Ron and Mary facilitate from time to time. And I had friends who were graduates, and I was interested in the program, but I didn't think I was ready to apply. So before my husband and I came to this program, came to this couples workshop, what I would have told you about myself and about my husband, I would have said, we are two risk-averse lawyers. We're very risk-averse. We're very financially conservative. We're risk-averse. We're risk-averse. We're risk-averse. And the truth is, pretty much from the time I was about, I'd say 8 till 39 when I walked in to do the couples workshop, that was kind of how I ran my life. That was sort of the MO of like security and safety, under the radar screen, avoid pain and discomfort at all costs. And that really drove most of my decisions, including the decision to become a lawyer. At the time I was a vice president at an entertainment company. Felt like a very safe job. And I'm married to just an absolutely lovely, wonderful man. But he's very dependable and risk averse and financially responsible, right? So this is why we walk, and I must have said that out loud like once a week. And I must have said it inside myself like, I don't know, 100 times a day, who knows? So we go to the couples workshop. I have an amazing experience. The learning, I go right up. I'm parts of me woke up that I had forgotten about. I'd really forgotten about. And in the couples workshop, one of the tools we work with is identifying, owning, and accepting projections. That's part of what happens in that weekend. And so right after that, we go on a lunch break, and I'm talking to my husband, and I'm like, oh my God, I love it here. I think I missed my calling. I wanted to be a therapist when I was in high school, and I totally let that go, and I don't think I want to work for a big corporation anymore. And I'm just like, I was just, whew. And bless him, he looks at me, and he just says, you should do it. You don't have to do, if you don't like what you should do it. And I said to him, oh, honey, but we're so risk adverse. We're so risk adverse. It would be risky. And he looks at me with the look of absolute puzzlement and says, I'm not risk adverse. And it was this moment, it was like the veil was lifted and there was absolute clarity that the only thing that had ever held me back from having the life I wanted or being who I wanted to be was me. And there was nothing else in the way. So I promptly applied for admission to the university. And my 2-year experience was really about dismantling those beliefs, those judgments, the things I bought into it from as a very little girl about what security meant and what safety was. And what I really discovered was I was always a spiritual seeker. In some ways I had bought into this idea, this sort of conventional idea that security was going to be a number in my bank account or a JD after my name or the minivan and that husband and the 2 kids in Encino, that was going to be where security was to be found. And what I really got through my USM education is that's a spiritual question. And really learning and experiencing that security is found in my divinity inside of me and in my connection with spirit. And really loving those parts that bought into the idea that safety and security and all of those things, that was going to be where fulfillment was found, and that was where that experience was going to be had. So what happened for me is I started to have a much more authentic life, much more joy, much more willingness to stand forward and to risk. Part of my second year project was to I designed and facilitated a workshop for women, which I loved doing. It was really joyful, and that led into starting to facilitate some women's groups with another USM grad, and I co-facilitate them. And through that, really, I was able to stand forward and start coaching and develop a coaching practice. And I graduated in 2008. By May of 2010, I was able to transition into a full-time coaching practice, which I absolutely love and which my USM education is foundational for. But what is most astounding and amazing is none of that could have happened without the resolutions of the issues inside of me. It's like my ability to be a business owner, to be an entrepreneur, to put myself forward and to be authentic in the world is all a function of the inner work I did as part of my USM education. And through that, I'm able to do work that I love to do. And I'm just profoundly grateful to have those tools and skills. That's why I'm back for a third year, because it's like my ability to work inside myself and heal and resolve and grow is just brings more loving into my life, into my family, into my work. And I'm just profoundly grateful that I get to continue to participate in this way. So I'm happy to talk to anyone about this afterwards, and thank you so much.